Today we'll explore the question, what's the difference between playing lead keyboard or piano as compared to playing rhythm keyboard or piano? In addition, I'll show you in just a couple minutes a simple process that if you practice, you'll become a great lead keyboard or piano player. I know that sounds like an outrageous claim, but check it out, watch the video, and then from there on out, it's just practice. When someone is taking a solo or playing lead on the keyboard, they're typically playing melodic lines or notes that follow one another. To play rhythm piano or keyboard means to play chords in a rhythmic fashion. So what's better, to be someone who can play chords and rhythm? Or to be able to play solos and melodies as a lead keyboard player? Well, the answer is both. To be a great musician, you must be able to play both rhythm as well as lead. So let's get to the process. How do you learn to play lead on the keyboard? It's actually a very simple process. Years ago, my teacher taught me this, and it's still teaching my fingers new things today. So don't be fooled by the simplicity of these simple steps. If you master them, you'll become a great lead piano or keyboard player. Here's the process. You start on middle C, and you first take a very, very simple melody. Something that you know well, that doesn't have a lot of jumps in it. Tiny little movements. Here's a good one. Yankee Doodle. A goofy old song that showed up in a lot of cartoons when I was a kid. Now, if you're in another country and you don't know that American old song, pick something that you know that doesn't have a lot of jumps. But here's the process. You take a song like Yankee Doodle, start on C, and you simply pick the melody out by ear without looking at anything, like this. Pretty simple so far. Here comes a big jump or a bigger jump. But it's doable, right? You might get a couple notes wrong, but you'll pick them out and you'll get familiar with that. The next step, and this is the key to the entire process, you take the same simple song, whatever song you're working on, and you move up a half a step. Guess what's going to happen now? Now we've got black and white notes, and all the distances will be the same, but they'll look different. So here we go. This might be kind of tough because it looks different. Now here comes a big jump, and I'm just going to get it wrong. Your dog will howl at that moment, so you'll know it's wrong when your dog starts howling. But if I played it correctly, and there's the key. You'll play it wrong at first maybe, and you'll get some biofeedback. You'll listen to that. No one will tell you that's wrong, or the page won't tell you, hey, that's wrong. You'll hear it, and you'll play it correctly. Let me do one more, and then I'm going to show you the next stage of this process. Let's pretend I've gone up by half steps, and let's say I get to, let's say, E. Right? I'm going to get one wrong here. Uh-oh. There it is. Now you can imagine how effective this is. Here's the incredible thing that starts to happen. I remember my jazz piano teacher told me this. He said, if you take these simple melodies and then start increasing the complexity of melodies so that your jumps are bigger, so that you learn to jump accurately on the keyboard, you'll get to the point where you can hear a melody in your head and you'll actually feel it with your hands where you should play it. And I thought, that's kind of weird. But you know what? He's exactly right. I can feel where I'm going to go, and it's almost like your hands have a sense of hearing. So you become comfortable with all these different leaps and jumps. So the next step is to take a more complex song. How about Happy Birthday? Everybody knows that. Let's start on E flat. Actually, no, that's not correct. We should start on C to make it simpler. We've increased the complexity of the song, so we'll start on C. There's a big jump right off the bat. Right? And the next one's a little bigger. Here comes a giant one. let's get it wrong. That's what it sounds like when people sing in the restaurant, isn't it? Sounds awful. Should be. Here's a tough one. This note looks different than the others. So you can imagine as we move to new keys, it just gets more fun. So you know the process. I would go to C sharp now. I'm just feeling like I need some gifts or something. Now let's get one wrong again. But you know what? I laugh. But when I do this, I get them wrong too, obviously. But it helps train my ears. Can you imagine how effective this is? I hope you do this. I hope you actually take advantage of this. Now let's say you've been doing this and you've been increasing the complexity of your melodies so that your leaps are bigger and so they include notes that are not in the scale, right? Make sure you pick things that are challenging. Speaking of a challenging song, how about White Christmas by Irving Berlin many years ago? This is a tough one, and I just want to give you a tough example because this has lots of what's called chromatic notes. Chromatic notes are notes that are right in a row. And this song goes in and out of the scale using chromatic notes, and sometimes that's kind of tough to hear. But here it is starting from C. Just that line right there is crazy. Going on. Now a big jump. Okay, you could go on, but let's try it from C sharp. It's going to be a little tougher. That is so weird right off the bat. Ah, there, I blew it. So when you blow it, you hear it, and that's the beauty of this thing. Nobody has to slap you on the wrist. It jumps out, and you think, oh man, I need to fix that. So going on, let me try one more time. How about if I go to D sharp? So I'm a little more comfortable now, just because I did the first time in C sharp, and that's what's going to happen. These melodies and these jumps are going to become intuitive in your mind, and you'll, like I said, you'll start to hear them in your hands before you actually play them. Now, there's no end how far you can take this thing. Again, if you're an American, you would know this song. This is a great one because it has huge leaps in it and a little chromaticism there. I started on an A. I should have started down on C and worked my way up, but let's pretend I did that. How about F sharp? That's a hard one. That's it. Pretty simple to explain, right? Trust me, this is a deceptively powerful lesson. Now, if you want to go further, I've actually put together an entire series of ear training exercises. Maybe you've heard of Ear Training 101. Ear Training 101 has been one of the most powerful sections of our website for many thousands of students. But have you checked out Ear Training 102? This powerful lesson will teach you longer musical phrases. The incredible thing is that this program will teach you to play solos and melodies in real time on the fly, so that your ears get trained to a very high level. You'll gain so much freedom on the keys. You've got to check it out. To get there, you can either follow the link on this page, or you can simply go to PlayPianoTODAY.com/ET102. I've had so many students who've written back to me and said that simply by going through these ear training programs, they're able to have freedom on the keyboard, and they're able to look at the guitar player and say, hey, it's my turn to take a solo, and they knock it out of the park. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited what you're going to play as you become a great lead player. My name is David Sprunger. Thanks for listening again. Now you know what to do. Go practice.